Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov.
I hoped you picked up from Audrey or from Lois copies of Mishkan Halev. Those of you who are joining us on the stream or the other platforms, most of the words will appear before you on the screens. So we begin on page 7. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven. This we read in Kohelet and Ecclesiastes. Now is the time for turning. The leaves will soon begin to turn from green to red and orange. The birds will begin to turn and head once more toward the south. The animals will begin to turn to storing their food for the winter. For leaves, birds, and animals, turning comes instinctively. But for us, turning does not come so easily. It takes an act of will for us to make a turn. It means breaking with old habits. It means admitting that we have been wrong, and this is never easy. It means losing face. It means starting all over again, and this is always painful. It means saying, I am sorry. It means recognizing that we have the ability to change. These things are terribly hard to do. But unless we turn, we will be trapped forever in yesterday's ways. God, help us to turn from callousness to sensitivity, from hostility to love, from pettiness to purpose, from envy to contentment, from carelessness to discipline, from fear to faith. Turn us around and bring us back towards you. Revive our lives as at the beginning, and turn us toward each other, for in isolation there is no life. On page 121. In a moment, we will rise to honor them, our elders from whom we have learned stories and lessons, with whom we have studied and worshiped and celebrated the passages of life and time. Our elders who have taught us goodness, honesty, and the sanctity of life, whose mantles are woven with threads of memory, embroidered with silver and gold, majestic folds of silk and velvet and royal hues befitting their rank as brilliant as the sun. We will rise to honor them as they put aside these everyday mantles of splendor and don their sacred garments, the vestments of purity and holiness, befitting the days of awe so soon approaching. As we now ask those who will be changing our mantles on our elders to join us on the bema, while the rest of us rise.
No.
「
So we turn now in the Siddurim to page 104.
Chadesh, Chadesh, Yamenu kekedem. Hashivenu, Hashivenu, Adonai Elecha, Venashuva, Venashuva. Chadesh, Chadesh, Yamenu kekedem.
At midnight I rise to give thanks and praise. And so we come to this hour of Selichot under the canopy of night to celebrate goodness, to proclaim what is right and true, to praise, to thank, to bless the great giver who gives and renews our lives. We turn to loved ones, to friends, and to our people everywhere, the whole house of Israel. And our hearts turn toward the human family. We pray for its healing. Yet the hardest of all is in the inward gaze, the return to ourself, the honest reckoning of the soul, cheshbon hanefesh. We ask how to account for selfish acts, lies, and senseless anger, how to account for the shadows, the storms, the bitterness in our lives, the damage and distress we cause, how to own up to it all and find our way back with integrity in peace. We ask, have we the will to change? And if not now, when? On page 109, white butterflies with single black finger paint eyes on their wings dart and settle, eddy and mate over the green tangle of vines in Labor Day morning re-stream. The ear grinds into ripeness and rot, grapes darkening, pears yellowing, the first Virginia creeper twinning crimson, the grasses dry straw to burn. The new year rises, beckoning across the umbrellas on the sand. I begin to reconsider my life. What is the yield of my impatience? What is the fruit of my resolve? I turn from my frantic white dance over the jungle of productivity and slowly a nigun slides. Cold water down my throat. I rest on a leaf spotted red. Now is the time to let the mind search backward like the raven loosed to see what can feed us. Now the time to cast the mind forward to chart an aerial map of the months. The new year is a great door. The door that stands across the evening, and Yom Kippur is the second floor. Between them are song and silence, stone and clay pot to be filled from within myself. I will find there both ripeness and rot, what I have done and undone, what I must let go with the waning days and what I must take in. With the last tomatoes, we harvest the fruit of our lives. As we take a few moments for personal reflection, page 110.
Shomer Yisrael, Shemor Sherit Yisrael. Shomer Yisrael, Shemor Sherit Yisrael. Ve'al Yovad Yisrael, Ve'al Yovad Yisrael. Ha'omrim Shema Yisrael. Shomer goy echad, shemor sheritam bechad. Shomer goy echad, shemor sheritam bechad. Ve'al yovad goy echad, ve'al yovad goy echad. Ham yachadim shimecha, Adonai Eloheinu Adonai echad. Ham yachadim shimcha, Adonai Eloheinu Adonai echad.
A ship cannot make its way through the seas without a compass. And we cannot make our way through life without being asked, the turn of each and every year, Ayeka, where are you? That question and our answer create the moral agenda for our work in the year ahead. If I do not focus on the purpose, what is the point of my life? as I continue on page 114. Master of wonders, mother of souls, forgive the darkness in our hearts, our loss of hope. Pardon our distraction, our ears closed to the pleas of the poor, and lead us to atonement. Master of wonders, mother of souls, forgive us our circles of secrecy, knots of guilt, shame, and anger, webs of betrayal and greed. Pardon the pursuit of happiness that ends in worship of self and leads us to atonement. Master of wonders, mother of souls, refuse to forgive our refusal to forgive. Release our grudges, hatreds, and feuds. Puncture our stubborn self-righteousness and lead us to atonement. Master of wonders, mother of souls, forgive our vanity in a universe of awe, our complacency in a universe of need. Pardon our failure to thank, praise, and salute every soul and every star. Lead us to atonement. Master of wonders, mother of souls, forgive us our disregard and insolence, our distance from loved ones and friends. Pardon our daily inattentiveness, our failure to notice that we fail to notice. Lead us to atonement.
Recham Adonai al yereah, ki chigvo hashamayim al haaretz, gavar chasdo al yereah, kerachemav al banim. Recham Adonai al yereah, haaretz, gavar chasdo al yereah.
Forgive me, my God, for I spilled my life like unclean water upon the earth. Forgive me for all my wounds I caused with my own hands. And yet, sobbing like a beaten child, I cried out to you that you, my God, might bandage them.
Ki anu amecha ve'ata Eloheinu, anu vanecha ve'ata avinu, anu avadecha ve'ata adonenu, anu ki alecha ve'ata chelkenu, anu nachalatecha ve'ata goralenu, anu tzonecha ve'ata roenu, anu charmecha ve'ata notrenu, anu feulatecha ve'ata yotzrenu, anu rayatecha ve'ata dodenu, anu segulatecha ve'ata kerovenu, anu amecha ve'ata malkenu, anu mamirecha ve'ata mamirenu.
Our God and God of our ancestors, we are your people and you are our God. We are your children and you are our Father, our Mother. We are the people who serve you and you call us to serve. We are your community and you are our purpose. We are your legacy and you are our portion. We are your flock and you are our shepherd. We are your vineyard and you watch over us. We are your work and you are our maker. We are your beloved and you are our lover. We are your treasure, and you are the one we cherish. We are your people, and you reign over us. We offer you our words, and you offer us yours. So forgive us, pardon us, lead us to atonement. Notice the river at the break of dawn, a braid of streams, creeks, and brooks, a dance of insects near the shore. Notice how brackish where the river meets the sea, how with grace the river hugs the shore, fierce in its rising, fiercer when it falls. Notice it all, how it bends, how it tells the time of year, and how smooth the boulders are that guide its course. Notice the Holy One in blessing and in beauty, in acts of repair, in the unearthing of truth in eyes that meet, in the tumult of change, in words of forgiveness, in the bridges we build to those we hurt, in the flow of a year, in the course of a journey, in rising and falling, in the bend of a river, in the hand we hold out to those who hurt us, in the life we are living, in blessing and in beauty. As we continue now on page 125. The Torah of the Eternal is perfect, renewing the soul. The testimony of the Eternal is enduring, making wise the simple. The precepts of the Eternal are just, rejoicing the heart. The instruction of the Eternal is lucid, giving light to the eyes. Ki lechak tov natati lachem torati al ta'azovu. A precious teaching I have given you, my Torah, do not forsake it. And now on page 125. There are those who struggle for a day, and they are good. There are those who struggle for a year, and they are better. There are those who struggle for a lifetime. They are the indispensable ones.
Adon haslichot bochen levavot vole amukot dover tzedakot chatanu lefanecha rachem alenu chatanu lefanecha rachem alenu hadur beniflaot vatik benechamot zoche beritavot chokek elayot chatanu lefanecha rachem alenu chatanu lefanecha rachem alenu tov umetiv labriot yodea kol nistarot kovesh avonot lovesh tzedakot chatanu lefanecha rachem alenu chatanu lefanecha rachem alenu.
As the days of awe near, we reach for the infinite. Mindful of our frailty, we seek the holy. Despite our morality, we carry within us the Ancient of Days. Despite our mortality, we carry within us the Ancient of Days. Despite loneliness within, we sense that we belong to a single soul, a spirit that fills the entire universe. Let us find in that universal spirit a new source of strength and significance, more compassion, more generosity, more gratitude for life. Let our hearts be open to self-reckoning, and may we grasp how vital to our lives is tshuva, the path of return. On this night of forgiveness, we confess our wrongs and take account of sins, failures of judgment, weakness of will. The hour is late, our need to be forgiven profound. Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, our God and God of all generations, may our prayers reach your presence. And when we turn to you, do not be indifferent. Eternal One, we are arrogant and stubborn, claiming to be blameless and free of sin. In truth, we have stumbled and strayed. We have done wrong. Together we confess. Together we take responsibility.
Tafalu shaker. Ay, 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 ay.
Ya'at nura,
Ya'at nura,
Kizavnu,
Kizavnu,
Latznu,
Latznu,
Maradnu,
Maradnu,
Niatnu,
Niatnu,
Sararnu,
Sararnu,
Avinu,
Avinu,
Ashanu,
Ashanu,
Sararnu,
Saranu,
Ishinu Oref,
Ishinu Oref.
Drashanu,
Rashamnu,
Shichatnu,
Shichatnu,
Tiavnu,
Yavnu,
Tainu,
Tainu,
Itanu.
As we continue on page 130, and please share with me in the Hebrew and the English, or if not the Hebrew, then the English. Al chet shechatanu lifanecha ba'ones uvratzon, the ways we have wronged you under duress and by choice. V'al chet shechatanu lifanecha bezadon uvishgaga, the harm we have caused you in your world. Al chet shechatanu lifanecha b'galui v'sater, v'al chet shechatanu lifanecha b'yod'im uv'lo yod'im. Al chet shechatanu lifanecha b'sinat chinam, V'al chet shechatanu lefanecha birchilut. Al chet shechatanu lefanecha b'tzarut ayin. V'al chet shechatanu lefanecha ba'onetz halev. V'al kulam Eloi Selihot, Salach lanu, Mechal lanu, Kaper lanu.
For all these failures of judgment and will, God of forgiveness, forgive us,
Pardon us, grant
lead
us
to
atonement.
Ve'al kulam Eloi Selihot, Selach lanu, Mechal lanu, Kaper lanu. Ve'al kulam Eloi Selihot, Selach lanu, Mechal lanu, Selach lanu, Mechal lanu, Kaper lanu.
From the place where we are right, flowers will never grow in the spring. The place where we are right is hard and trampled like a yard. But doubts and loves dig up the world like a mole, a plow. And a whisper will be heard in the place where the ruined house once stood.
Shema Kohen.
Shema kolenu, Adonai Eloheinu, chus verachem aleinu. Shema kolenu, Adonai Eloheinu, chus verachem aleinu. V'kamel merachamim u'veratzon et tefilatenu, כי השומע תפילות ותחנונים אתה. שמע קולנו, אדוני אלוהינו, חוס ורחם עלינו. שמע קולנו, אדוני אלוהינו, חוס ורחם עלינו.
Return now, Israel, to the one who forgives, for you have fallen because of your sin. Return as the shrill sound of the shofar that rises from the spiral of the ram's horn toward heaven. Take words with you and return to the eternal.
I will be to Israel like dew, they shall blossom like the lily.
Return as the leaves in spring, renewed and beautiful.
Stretch out your arms to God and return, like a child to her mother, to love and peace.
We're going to rise to
Adonai, Adonai, erachum v'chanun, erech hamayim, v'rach chesed v'yemet, יוצר חסד לאלפים, נושא עוון ופשע וחטא ונקה.
On page 140, Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, we come before you without pretense. Avinu Malkeinu, we are reaching towards you. Help us to find you. Avinu Malkeinu, strengthen us for the holy days that lie ahead. Avinu Malkeinu, be with us as we strive to heal ourselves and become whole. Avinu Malkeinu, help us to repair a broken world. Avinu Malkeinu, hasten for us the days of redemption. Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, answer us with grace, for our deeds are wanting. Save us through acts of justice and love.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu Vanenu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu Vanenu, Ki en banu masim. Aseh imanu, tzedaka v'chesed. Aseh imanu tzedaka v'chesed v'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu vanenu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu vanenu, Ki en banu masim. Aseh imanu tzedaka v'chesed. Aseh imanu tzedaka v'chesed v'hoshienu. Tekiah gedolah.
And to each and every one of you, a Shana Tova Mitukah, a good and sweet and healthy year.